Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. We are back here on Crosshatch Puzzles for another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve. It's another in the car edition of our puzzle solves here. And I accidentally hit start for a couple of seconds there inadvertently. But rest assured I have not seen anything. So we're basically starting from scratch. Let the timer have a 2-second head start. Today's construction is by Stella Zawistowski, we'll expect a sort of a relatively easy Tuesday themed puzzle. So let's see what we've got in store for us for this Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. Awards for athletic achievements. ESPYs, maybe? The ESPN's own proprietary award show? It's possible. Let's see. Drove like mad. I don't know. Outer arm muscles for short. Are these the pecs? No, that's not right. Pecs are on your chest. Perhaps triceps? Tries, maybe? Talent seeker, a scout, talent scout. Follow instructions, obey, maybe. Help for a stumped solver, possibly a hint. In what season are the Olympics during leap years, sweetie? Well, during leap years, they're in the summer. And I'm assuming this is going to be followed by some kind of term of affection. But I can't immediately see what that is. Sorry if there's a lot of background noise here. Home of the Taj Mahal is Agra, I should say. President Lincoln informally is Abe. Carnival attractions, maybe rides, maybe not. Multiple choice option, akin to none of the above. Akin to none of the above. Multiple choice option. Don't see it. Heavily edit with beauty filters as a photo in modern lingo. I don't know enough modern lingo to say. A bit of writing from Joan Didion is an essay. She's a famous essayist. Blank diver, scuba diver. Apples, pears, and quinces botanically are poems. Bacteria-free, sterile, probably. Should have listened to me, told ya, maybe. Instruments similar to a heckle phone. I guess this is going to be an oboe. Oh, is it going to be summer love? Okay, got it. Makes go vroom, revs probably. Drove like mad, maybe tore down the street. Appreciation for design could be an eye for design. Oh really? That's so? You could ask. Moral justification could be what's the word? I don't remember. Waiting to be used. In repose? No, in waiting to be used. Not sure. One of seven in the Big Dipper. There are 7 stars in the constellation. A multiple choice option akin to none of the above would be other, maybe. Fares and fees are both. I don't see it. Blanks and ahs, oohs and ahs, probably. Fares and fees are both costs. That works. Indicator of a penalty in soccer. The referees will hold up a card. Jazz lick, probably a riff. Is this Yassify? Comic Blank, Comic Sans is a font. Which Little Rascals character has a cowlick sugar? Alfalfa honey. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. So we're looking at phrases which normally are don't have a comma in them, and asking the question, if you put a comma in them, and particularly with the second word in the phrase being a term of endearment, if you put a comma in them, what could they be the answer to? So summer love, a pretty common phrase. If you put a comma and made it summer, comma, love, what could that be an answer? What question could that be an answer to? In what season are the Olympics during leap years? And here again, we have honey as the term of endearment, but alfalfa honey is a food that you can make from alfalfa, the grain. But in this case, if you put a comma, you're answering a question. We'll take a closer look at those afterwards. Head-turning spectacle. A scene, maybe. Puts out in public. Errors, as in grievances. Pitcher's stat for short, probably ERA, earned run average. These are visible when you sport an updo. Your ears. Got it. Received? I'm not sure. Say if you're attending in brief. RSVP, which is an odd evolution of the term of speech of that. I mean, in the initial literal translation of RSVP, it's a command, a polite command, but a command nevertheless, an imperative. But in the construction that they have here, to say if you're attending is well, not a command, but just a regular verb. To come off as is to seem. A bird that can outrun the fastest human sprinters, probably an emu, I'm guessing, with the E there. Story is passed down by word of mouth. Lore, maybe? Excuse me. Makes more manageable. I don't know. Rightness? Moral justification? Rightness, maybe? Oh, in reserve, not in repose. That makes much more sense. Keeps talking and talking and talking. Yaps. Maybe eases, as in a situation, for makes more manageable. Poverty symbolically, rags, I guess. Award nominations, so to speak. You could call those nods. Pop singer Rita is Rita Ora. Casual farewell, later, maybe. Got it. Noted, you could say. A pox on thee. Fie upon thee. Yes. Avoiding the limelight, say. Camouflaging? No. Quality of a scholar. Erudition, maybe? To be the quality of being erudite? Maybe. I'll be right there. 1 sec, maybe? Noble title on TV's Bridgerton, probably Lord or Lady. What are oils and watercolors examples of? This is not going to be 1 sec, maybe in a sec. This is going to be media, darling. A phrase on its own, but media being oils and watercolor examples. Media being what oils and watercolors are examples of. I guess this is going to be lady. Watermelon leftovers are their rinds. Room to relax in, probably a lounge. Oops. Savory South Indian rice cake, idli. Having no boundaries, endless. What did I do there? There we go. In all probability, odds are, you might say. Cognizant, you can be aware of something, cognizant of it. Yitzhak, blank, 2-time Israeli PM. Rabin, I think, or Rabim, I don't exactly remember how it's spelled or pronounced. What happy tales do? They wag. Country whose national soccer team is nicknamed the Pharaohs, probably Egypt then. Order from the doc's office. Script. So doc being short for doctor, script also short for a prescription. Secretly loop in a way, this is always going to be BCC for blind carbon copy. Something a bloodhound picks up is a scent. I guess Rabin is the name there. What do you call a close-fitting hat? Doll. You might call it a beanie, baby. Someone you're super tight with, in brief. A BFF, probably. To run away is to flee. A cobra's tooth is a fang. Circus clapper is a seal, one who claps at a circus. Symbol of poison often is a skull, and citizen blank, citizen Kane. Avoiding the limelight could be camera shy. And then a skewered dish served with peanut sauce satay without warranty as is. Mule or moccasin are both examples of shoes. To talk back is to sass, and to keep up to date across multiple devices is to sync. So that is our Tuesday crossword. Happy to get that done in under 10 minutes, even with a few stops for explanation. And let's take a closer look at the theme for today. Where's my mouse? There we go. So we have a number of theme clues, no revealer, but they're all, as I mentioned, normal phrases that end with something that could in other contexts be a term of endearment. So we have love at the end of this one, honey at the end of this one, darling at the end of this one, and baby at the end of this one. And it is worth noting that the constructor, Stella, had to come up with 4 additional ones to put in the clue. So in addition to love, honey, darling, and baby, she had to come up with sweetie, sugar, dear, and doll. I don't know that there's any relation between the correspondences there. I think they're sort of there in whatever sounds good. But so this phrase, summer love, sort of a general phrase for usually a short duration romantic escapade, could be, if with a comma properly placed, could be an answer to the question, in what season are the Olympics during leap years, sweetie? And the sweetie there to indicate that the answer should also have another term of endearment. So summer, comma, love. Here, which little rascals has a cowlick sugar? So instead of alfalfa honey, which is just a food product, you have alfalfa, comma, honey. Here, a media darling, someone who the camera loves, as opposed to someone in the intersecting clue who's camera shy. Here, what are oils and watercolors examples of? Dear, you could say media, comma, darling. And finally, a beanie baby, a toy or a collectible item. What do you call a close-fitting hat? Doll. You might call it a beanie, comma, baby. So that's pretty cool. Everything else pretty straightforward, I think. Nothing in here really. I mean, one thing, I had the wrong thing. I had one sec here instead of in a sec that I had to go back and correct, but everything else I kind of was able to fill in more or less as is. As I mentioned, the intersection between camera shy and media darling is pretty fun. And I don't think there's anything. I mean, rightness is a little bit of an odd. I don't really ever hear that used as a synonym for a moral justification. I guess it's fine. It makes perfect sense, but and then I already pointed out RSVP and the evolution of the term of or the part of speech for that one. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really else in here that deserves. Maybe this. Relatively uncommon cluing for a relatively common entry for oboe. Anyway, that's our puzzle for today, Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 by Stella Zawistowski. I missed all the puzzles on our long weekend that we just had, so I'm going to try and go back and do maybe the Sunday. Always like doing Sunday puzzles. So I might try and do that now and post both of those today. But if you liked this solve, do hit that thumbs up. If you want to know when I'm posting other videos, do give me a subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can be right up to date with where I am at on crosshatch puzzles. That's it for now. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.